Hello, I'm Clark Crawford, and welcome back to the latest edition of Clark Crawford Sports, talking Astros baseball, of course, here on my YouTube channel. And the Houston Astros come into play with a series against the Philadelphia Phillies starting tonight here on Monday. But first, before we do that, we're going to take a look at the AL West standings. And also, if you haven't already heard, how the Astros fared against the Baltimore Orioles over the weekend. So to get started, the Astros had a 4-game series Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Baltimore Orioles of the AL East. Astros earlier in the season swept the Baltimore Orioles 14-11, 5-1, and 8-1 at home. So coming into the series, the Astros were already up 3-0 in the season series against the Orioles with this 4-game series that just concluded over the weekend. That takes us to Friday night, where the Astros won the game 6-1. Arrighetti outdueled Orioles ace, who they traded for, acquired from the Milwaukee Brewers in the offseason, Corbin Burnes. Spencer Arrighetti's final line: 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Corbin Burnes, on the other hand, 5 2/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, and only 2 strikeouts. So Spencer Arrighetti, in all assets of the game, pitched his tail off. And, Corbin Burnes got smacked around later in the game. We'll talk about that here in a minute. In this game, the Astros got the scoring started with the Yordan Alvarez single in the 4th inning. Ben Gamel, the hero of Thursday night's game, his first game as an Astro. Ben Gamel, Astros legend, might we say? Probably too soon for that, but after his first game, everyone was ready to put him in the Astros Hall of Fame. Ben Gamel singles, Diaz scores, and then in the 6th, to get the scoring going again, Ben Gamel knocks in Alvarez with another RBI single. He had 2 RBI singles on the night. The Astros would go on to score 4 runs in the 6th inning. The highlight of the inning for me, Shea Whitcomb hits a 2-run single, the first 2 RBIs of his young major league career. And as I said, the Astros go on to win this one 6-0. Great, outstanding game from Shea Whitcomb, going 1 for 4 with the 2 RBIs. Jake Meyers with a hit and a run scored. Ben Gamel, the hero of the night, 2 for 3, a run scored, 2 RBIs. Yordan knocked in a run, and Alex Bregman had a hit as well. And, of course, the Spencer Arrighetti, he was incredible, picking up his 6th win of the year, lowering his season ERA with no earned runs to 4.94. Sean Dubin and Caleb Ferguson combined for 3 innings out of the bullpen and 3 scoreless innings, and the Astros win that game 6-0, shutting out the Baltimore Orioles. So, unfortunately for the Astros, Friday had a much different outcome. The Orioles would storm back to win the game 7-5 off of the Astros bullpen. Well, really, Brian Abreu. And that was a wrap. That was an ugly 8th inning, one of the worst innings of the season for the Astros. Jeremy Pena had an error in this game, and it went like this. Baltimore took a 1-0 lead off of Hunter Brown in the 2nd inning. It was the only run that Hunter Brown only allows 1 earned run in this game. It was off of an error by shortstop Jeremy Pena. Then Jose Altuve hits a 2-run homer in the 3rd to give the Astros a 2-1 lead. Jeremy Pena's RBI double scores Yainer Diaz, and then Jake Meyers knocks in Jeremy Pena. So it's 4-1 Astros. And then the only earned run of the night given up by Hunter Brown was a Cowser solo home run in the 3rd. Jeremy Pena adds his own home run in the 6th to give the Astros a 5-2 lead. Things would melt down from there in the 8th inning. Brian Abreu comes in, and, it was easily his worst outing of the year. A 1/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned with only 1 strikeout. It was just hit. And then, of course, the grand slam from Anthony Santander. Santander hit his 38th home run of the year. He's been incredible for them. At the time, he had 86 RBIs after the grand slam. Baltimore didn't look back from there, because then Urias would triple in Slater to give them a 7-5 lead, and that was a wrap for the game. Hunter Brown pitched his tail off like Arrighetti the night before. He didn't want to get bested by the rookie. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Brown was damn good again, lowering his season ERA to 3.72. That's what you love to see. Taylor Scott, scoreless inning in the 7th. Brian Abreu blows up, and then Brian King comes in and mop-up duty with 2/3 of an inning and a strikeout, no runs given up. The Astros lose 7-5. Just another heartbreaking loss on the year. The Astros have had about 7 or 8 of those so far. Nothing you can do about it. I did not expect them to sweep the Baltimore series, though with the way Friday and Saturday went, they could have very well swept Baltimore and gone 7-0 against them this year. But settling for 5-2, I mean, you can't ask for too much more than that. And that's just how it's going to be. Saturday afternoon's game was much like Friday. The Astros let one slip away. They took a 2-0. They had a 2-0 lead with the Jose Altuve solo homer to lead off the game, his 40th career leadoff home run. Jeremy Pena adds a homer in back-to-back games. He homered in the 6th inning to make it 2-0. And then the problem of the game happened in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's 2 outs, and John Singleton, bless him, he's been decent, solid enough for the Astros, at least serviceable at first base, though the Astros have had a million first basemen this year, does not charge an easy, and I mean easy ground ball, and that's a wrap for the game. Singleton doesn't charge the ball. Colton Cowser is safe at first base, and it unravels from there. Jackson Holiday pinch hitting hits a 3-run double. The Astros lose 3-2. Framber Valdez just needed one more out to get through 6 innings and have a shutout, 6 innings of shutout baseball and a quality start. Unfortunately, Framber, who did not deserve the loss, is now 13-6, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. Unfortunately, all of them earned 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 104 pitches, a 3.27 ERA is now what he has on the season. It's unfortunate. I mean, it sucked. It's a play that could have been avoided. And like I said, the Astros could have easily, and I mean easily, won this series and not tied it. And also they could have swept. So it's another bad loss on the season, 2 of them in a row, though it's all about how you bounce back from a bad loss. And luckily for the Astros, they did just that last night on Sunday Night Baseball, in which, well, we all hate Sunday Night Baseball because the ESPN crew is just atrocious. But heck, that's what we had to deal with. And luckily for us, the Astros took care of business. The Astros got the scoring started. Victor Caratini with an RBI in the 4th inning. Then Zach DeZinzo with the big time underrated in this game 2-run double to make it 3-0. Urias tags the Astros in this one with a 3-run homer off of Kikuchi in the 5th inning when it looked as though Kikuchi was going to cruise through most of the night and continue the way he was pitching. He was pretty dominant up until that 5th inning, giving up that 3-run homer. The Astros would go on to win this game, and the Astros are 5-0 in Kikuchi's start, but unfortunately, Kikuchi doesn't pick up the win. Luckily, Alex Bregman and Yainer Diaz go back-to-back home runs in the 7th inning to provide the power and the thump, giving the Astros a 4-3 and then a 5-3 lead, back-to-back solo home runs. And then Jake Myers, pinch hitting for Mauricio Dubon, adds a sac fly in the 8th, and the Astros go on to win the game 6-3. Another note for this game, it seems Mauricio Dubon, as we all saw him crash into the left field wall with one heck of a catch. Other than the Joely Loperfido where he tipped the ball to himself, I would say it's the second best catch by an Astros outfielder this season. He crashed into the wall, made the catch. They removed him from the game for precautionary reasons, though it seems all signs point towards positive things, and Mauricio Dubon maybe is back in the lineup in the next day or two as the Astros begin a 3-game series with the Phillies beginning tonight. So that's the good news. The Astros avoid an injury with Dubon. Though another note from this series, Yordan Alvarez did not play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Apparently he had a neck injury. He's expected to be back in the lineup today, which he is. Though, unfortunately, for today's lineup, there is no Jose Altuve. I have not seen any injury news. I believe it is just a routine day off, so no big deal there. Obviously, you want Jose Altuve in the lineup, but he's also 34. He's going to need a couple extra days off down the stretch, keep his legs fresh, keep his bat hopefully hot, even though he's getting the days off, and the rest of the team's just going to have to pick up the slack. So for this game, Yusei Kikuchi, 5 2/3, 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, throwing 98 pitches. He's pretty much Mr. 5 2/3. In one start, he went 5 1/3, but 4 out of his 5 starts as an Astro, he's pitched exactly 5 2/3 innings pitched. So no big deal there. Josh Hader comes in and gets the save in this one, his 28th consecutive save, extending an Astros record. And another part of this game, to clean up Kikuchi's mess of the 5th inning, Hector Neris, who picked up his 9th win of the season, goes an inning and a third, picking up the win while allowing no hits, no runs, getting 1 strikeout. So a successful first outing back for Hector Neris as an Astro. And then Brian Abreu, who blew Friday night's game, gets his 32nd hold of the season, 1 scoreless inning, 2 strikeouts. He looks back on track. His season ERA is 3.36. Good to see Brian Abreu bounce back. He desperately needed that bounce back outing, as I mentioned. Astros go 2-2 against the Orioles in this series with the 3-0 home sweep. That's 5-2 against the Baltimore Orioles this season. You'll take it. Obviously, you wanted to go 7-0, but things happen. So just another note there for the Astros. Successful against Baltimore this year. You really needed to win the season series against them because you do not hold the tiebreaker over some of these other teams, the Yankees, among others. That's going to take us to the AL West standings update. The Astros, after the series against Baltimore, are 70-60 on the year. That's a .538 win percentage, a plus 73 run differential, and their playoff odds are 90.2%. They are 5-5 in their last 10. And the Seattle Mariners, really the only other team to watch in this division. Everyone else isn't officially eliminated for the playoffs, but they will be sooner rather than later. Seattle is 66-65 after they won 2 out of 3 against the Giants over the weekend. And they are 4.5 back from the Astros. They are 3-7 in their last 10. And as I mentioned in my last video before the Astros series against the Orioles on Thursday, the Mariners fired their manager, Scott Service, and they're going with an interim for the rest of the season. We'll see how that plays out. But Seattle is still 3-7 in their last 10, and they have a 15.5% chance to make the postseason for their odds. The Astros begin a series against the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. And they have not been in Philadelphia since the 2022 World Series when Chas McCormick made that historic catch in right center field. Great memories for the Astros in Philadelphia. And, of course, they went on to win the 2022 World Series. So a 2022 World Series rematch. The Astros 70-60 first in the AL West. The Philadelphia Phillies 76-54 first in the NL East. Ronel Blanco versus Zach Wheeler, 2 right-handed pitchers, will square off on Monday night. Ronel Blanco is 9-6, a 3.14 ERA, 137 2/3 innings pitched, 91 hits, 136 strikeouts, 55 walks. Every out he records for the rest of the year, of course, as it's been for a couple starts now, is a new career high in innings. We'll see how he does. I still think the Astros need to skip his start, and I would have against Philadelphia with how cold he's been for the most part recently, but they decide not to. We'll see if that is a good move or not. It's kind of a bold strategy, if you ask me, as Philadelphia's heated up over the past week or so, and probably the toughest lineup you're going to face all season with the Philadelphia Phillies, but we'll get into that later on. Zach Wheeler, 12-6, 2.73 ERA, 154 2/3 innings pitched with 170 strikeouts. Zach Wheeler is one of the NL Cy Young candidates. That is going to take us to Ronel Blanco's last couple of games. His game logs in the month of August: 5 innings, 4 innings, 6 innings, 3 2/3. Not good as of late. 18 2/3 innings pitched this month. That is less than 5 innings per start. It's barely pushing 4 1/3, maybe 4 2/3 innings pitched per start. Ronel Blanco in his last outing against the Red Sox Tuesday at home in a loss: 3 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 1 homer, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, throwing 84 pitches. He was good against Tampa Bay in his start before that, but His other two starts this month, 4 innings and 5 innings, not giving up a ton of runs, but throwing way too many pitches. Ronald Blanco, the Astros are now in a 6-man rotation. It's not desperate, but it's imperative the Astros starters start getting deeper into games, at least 6 innings every start, because the bullpen is going to tire even more. Brian Abreu is one of the innings leaders out of the bullpen in Major League Baseball, along with appearances. They've got to keep his arm fresh and ready for the postseason because eventually his arm is going to fall off. He's on track to pitch in more than half the games this season out of the bullpen. That is a outrageous and inflated number for a relief pitcher. Usually you want to keep him maybe around 65 appearances, 70 tops, but he's already in the mid to high 60s. And the Astros have, 32 games left roughly. So that's an alarming stat. And he's probably going to pitch roughly every other game the rest of the season. That's another 15 appearances, taking him to the right around that halfway mark, which is not where you want to be. Ronald Blanco, the Astros need a good start out of him. Maybe he'll finally give you a quality start. I wouldn't put my money on it, but Ronald Blanco, just like Spencer Arrighetti in this series, is really going to have to step up and eat some innings for the Astros. That'll take us to Zach Wheeler, one of the Cy Young candidates in the National League. His last few outings, 8 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings. His last outing, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, and a loss. 1 homer, 8 strikeouts. He really didn't deserve the loss, but he got no run support. His start before that, he got a win. And then the start against Seattle, 8 innings, 2 hits. I mean, Zach Wheeler's a phenomenal pitcher, as he is 12-6 on the year. Like I said, NL Cy Young candidate. I don't think he's going to win the award, but something to note, Zach Wheeler, a really good pitcher. The Astros have their hands full in this series with Phillies starting pitching. They arguably have the best starting pitching staff in all of baseball, or at least all in all of the National League. There's no doubt about it. They're up there in the top 5, if not top 3, maybe even top 2. It's going to take us to Justin Verlander coming off his second start off the IL. He'll be making only his 12th start of the year. 3-3, a 3.92 ERA, 62 innings pitched, 56 hits, 57 strikeouts. Aaron Nola is his mound opponent, right-handed pitcher like Justin Verlander. 11-6, a 3.45 ERA, 159 in the third innings pitched, 147 hits, 147 strikeouts. Like Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola is an innings eater. They're both pushing maybe to both hit 200 innings this year. Both of them can really eat up innings and give the Phillies a lot of quality starts, which is what they're best at, and why I said Philadelphia has arguably the best starting rotation in all of baseball. They're just phenomenal. The Phillies are a tough team, could be a World Series candidate. I will give my MLB playoff predictions at the end of the season. Justin Verlander, his first start back, 5 innings, 4 hits on Wednesday against Boston in a 4-1 loss, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, picking up his 3rd loss of the year. Verlander was pretty good in this one in that afternoon game. Unfortunately, the Astros gave him no run support. They had 1 or 2 opportunities, but it is what it is. It's just one of those games that you blow off and you try to come back from it. Verlander still looking for win number 261 of his career. He is still 40 wins away from that number. He's chasing 300. Whether he gets there or not, I don't know, because of all the injuries this year. Who knows if he's going to be healthy most of the rest of his career, because I guarantee you he wants to continue to pitch and fight for that 300 number, whether he gets there or not. Aaron Nola of the Phillies, in his last couple of outings against Washington, he went 6 2/3, 7 hits, no earned runs. And then against Atlanta, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He has not picked up a win in quite a while, but Aaron Nola has pitched well over his last 2 outings. He's 11-6 on the year. Just like Zach Wheeler, he's a workhorse. The Phillies are lucky enough to have 2 big-time studs in their rotation, and they both pitch pretty well. It explains the Phillies' record and why they're one of the top teams in all of baseball. Brings us to the potential rubber match of the series, Astros versus Phillies, the only 3-game series of the year between the two teams. Spencer Arrighetti versus Phillies southpaw Christopher Sanchez, who's having a breakout season. Spencer Arrighetti, the rookie, 6-11, 4.94 ERA, finally got that ERA under 5. 116 and 2/3 innings pitched, 112 hits, 140 strikeouts. Those strikeout numbers have been phenomenal as of late, if you have not paid attention to Spencer Arrighetti. Christopher Sanchez, 99 and 3.51 ERA, 1.27 whip, 146 and a third innings pitched, 151 hits, 116 strikeouts. The lineups for the game, or some of the offensive numbers, Yordan Alvarez, 25 homers, 306 average, 67 RBIs. Alvarez leads the team in average. Yainer Diaz, 301, 16 homers, 72 RBIs. Alec Boehm is their batting average leader, 294 and 88 RBIs. Their RBI leader, Kyle Schwarber, leads them in homers, 28 home runs, 82 RBIs, and a 248 average is pretty high for Kyle Schwarber. Usually he's sitting sub 220. The Phillies have a phenomenal lineup as it is. Since the 22 World Series, they've added Trey Turner. They still have Harper, Castellanos, Schwarber, Boehm. The only one they're missing from that World Series is Hoskins. And then they still have Bryson Stott, Real Muto. The list keeps going on and on. The Phillies are a phenomenal offense. The Astros have their hands full in this series. And that'll bring us to Spencer Arrighetti, his recent game logs. As I pull them up, his last two outings, 5 2/3 against the White Sox, 4 earned, got the loss. But then his last outing against Baltimore pitched his tail off. As I mentioned earlier in the video, 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. His previous 2 outings before those two, 12 and 13 strikeouts. His strikeout numbers have been a little down the last 2 starts, but still doing a nice job for the Astros. He's got a 2.55 ERA in the month of August, as his start on Wednesday will be his last start of August. So let's see if Spencer Arrighetti can end the month of August on a good note and give the Astros a good chance to win that game. They really need to win another series, as they are 2-2 on their current the toughest road trip of the year, the 7-game road trip. Christopher Sanchez, as I mentioned, having a breakout season. He gave up the 7 runs against Arizona 3 starts ago, but the start before that, 1 run against the Dodgers, picking up a win, 8-7 at the time, 6 innings of 1-run ball. Then the 7 runs, he was 8-8. But then a complete game, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned against the Washington Nationals in his last start, picking up his 9th loss, evening his record to 9-9. 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts against the Atlanta Braves. So in his starts recently, good start, bad start, good start, okay start. Hopefully for the Astros' sake, he is due for another bad start, but only time will tell. Wednesday will be an afternoon game between Arrighetti and Sanchez, 2 potential stud breakout pitchers for next season and down the line. 2 young pitchers looking to get the job done and doing a nice job as of late. And, well, for Sanchez all season and Arrighetti as of late for their respective ball clubs. So I gave you an Astros versus Orioles series recap and Astros versus Phillies series preview. That's going to do it for the latest edition of Clark Crawford Sports. A tough series coming up with the Phillies. We'll see what the Astros can do. They're 2-2 on this tough stretch between games with the Orioles, the Phillies, and then the Kansas City Royals to wrap around this crazy 11-game stretch the Astros are on. We'll see what the record is at the end of it. Hopefully they can have a winning record and get things right against Philadelphia. That remains to be seen. So that's going to do it from the latest edition of Clark Crawford Sports. Like my video down below. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of the current Astros and how they're doing, how their season has gone. Let me know what you think. And, of course, subscribe to my channel as I push towards hopefully 200 subscribers soon. That'd be a big milestone for me. So please help me reach that goal by subscribing to my channel. And I'll see all of you in the next edition of Clark Crawford Sports with an Astros versus Royals series preview and an Astros versus Phillies series recap on Thursday. Thank you all for watching.